Good morning, everybody. How's everybody doing today? It's July 10th, 2021, and Felix and Kamau are in the building.
Yes,
We
sir.
prayed
Yes,
on
sir.
it. We stayed on it. We made sure it's together. We got us both here together today, and we're going to have the greatest show this side of eternity. I know we hear that a lot, but I'm going to put a guarantee on it. We're going to guarantee it. It's going to be a great show today. I've been excited. I've been looking forward to this since the last show we did, and we I just know I'm crazy excited about this whole thing, and we're gonna have a good time. We're gonna talk about sports and more sports. NBA finals, wrap up the conference finals. We're gonna talk about a little bit of baseball, a little bit of Olympics, UFC, boxing. We're gonna throw it all in there today. We're gonna mix it up, and if I remember, got to make sure we talk about the polls that we did. Thank the people for doing the polls, and I'm really excited. I don't know if you can't tell I'm excited today. Something wrong because I'm mighty excited about today. I'm mighty excited about doing this and being here for everybody. And I just want to thank you all for coming out. And it's a great day. And as always, we want to start with being grateful. The Gratefulness Journey, every day, written by Mr. Marcus Holmes. Who is that? That young cat right there. See that young man right there? Go to Amazon. Go ahead and just put in the name Marcus Holmes. Follow him on Amazon. Buy the book. Order the book. It'll be at your house in a couple of days. It's not a long read. It is. How many pages? This here is. It is 73 pages. You can read it in a day. You can read it on your lunch break when folks are not bothering you. You can eat with one hand and read with the other. Or you come home at night, you put the kids to bed, and you can read while you're laying in the bed before you fall asleep instead of being on Facebook or anything else, or Instagram or Snapchat. You can just go ahead and just take care of it. We want you to order, we want you to buy, we want you to be grateful every day and just appreciate what you have. And remember, you got to be grateful for what you have in order to move forward to what you want next in life. And that's kind of how it works. And that's the funny part about life. Things just kind of work out like that. Absolutely. We're going to start first with the wrap up of the previous NBA finals. I'm sorry, the conference championships. And we're going to start with Atlanta, Milwaukee. And both stars went down. I thought that was pretty funny how both stars in that game went down, but yet still they were able to get the win for Milwaukee. I was encouraged to see that Milwaukee does have a big three. They have a big three, but it does not include Giannis. I thought that was very, very interesting.
Absolutely.
He had a knee injury. He had the hyperextension, and he went down. And his teammates said, "Hey, we got you." They pat him on the back. They lifted him up. They said, "Hey, we got you, man. We gonna take out the shimmy guy who in game one shot the ball, shimmy before he shot the ball and make it." I always tell my guys, I used to coach, "You're gonna do that crazy stuff. That's fine, but if you got to make the shot. Yeah. If you do all that silly stuff and you don't make the shot, you're gonna come sit next to me. All that stuff and only count for 2 points. All that extra movement don't get you extra points on the board. So you can look sweet. I don't care if you look sweet. Just make the shot."
Just make the shot.
And they be like, "Come on, coach, that makes sense." Oh, that makes a lot of sense. Yes. You're not making the shot. What you doing all the extra stuff for?
Right.
That's the only thing that caught on the board. The girls might think it's cute. "Oh, look at him out here. He's rubbing his waist. He got a hand on the back of the head." I get all that. But make the shot. Make the shot.
Make the shot.
How you feeling about that? How you feel about that series, sir?
Hey, look, Atlanta was the shocker. Atlanta, they came out. They got past the Knicks. Many people didn't think they was getting past the Knicks, and myself included. I thought the Knicks was going to beat them. They beat the Knicks. Then they slayed the Dragon in Brooklyn. Didn't nobody think that one. And they went to, not Brooklyn. They beat Atlanta beat
Philly.
They beat
Philly.
Thank you. I had a brain freeze.
All right.
Philly, but I did tell you in the beginning. I told you Doc he good through the regular season, but when it comes to the putting the Kool-Aid in the sugar, I don't know, man. He can't do it. Doc can't do it. And then, like I said, when they got up to Giannis and them, it was too much Giannis. Even though he went down, like you said, the rest of them stepped up. The role players stepped up. So that's what kind of got them. But, I mean, kudos. They got a good season. They had a great season. They took the interim tag off Nate McMillan. Now he's the head coach. Job well deserved. Hey, they did. It beat my expectations. Made me a believer.
I've always been a Nate McMillan fan. I was talking about him before I even realized he was the head coach of Atlanta. I was talking about how the work that he did up in Seattle, how I felt like he got the short end of the stick. I'm glad to say he has made his resurgence. He has a contract. He there for 4 years. Nick Young believe in him. Nick Young like him as a coach. So you can't ask him more than that. When your players buy into what the coach is saying, that's when you know you're gonna have some good things going on. And if the players don't buy into what the coach is saying, it don't matter what's going on. You gotta believe in the system, even though the coach is not there on the actual court. You got to believe in what he's saying from the sidelines in order to make things work. I always say, as a coach, it's not up to me; it's up to the players. But the players have to believe in what I'm saying, so to make the engine run. And I like that about Nate. He owns it from the beginning to the end. And they love him, and I see them doing well in the future. What do you think they need moving forward? How can we improve the Atlanta Hawks moving forward? What do you think they need to do?
Right now, nothing. Leave it like it is. It ain't broke, don't fix it. Leave it just like it is. Because if you get another scorer, that's going to take the ball out of Trae Young's hands. Yes, that's your go-to player. That's your franchise. That's who you build around. Leave it alone. Ain't nothing. Like I said in my earlier statement, they beat everybody's expectations. Everybody had them going home to the Knicks. They went to the Eastern Conference Finals. Nobody in Vegas didn't even have that. So, yeah, leave that alone. You don't need fine-tuning, nothing. It's straight, just like it is. Now, the downplay might be like with this off-season, you know, if they can all, you know, chill a little bit more. Because you need to learn how to play, too, when Trae is on the court. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know. If, you know, that's what I would do. I would just leave it alone. Nothing. There's nothing wrong.
Makes sense to me. Now, what do you think about referee game? Referee in his position, he in the right position, toes on the line. Nick Young stepped on his feet. Do you think the referee could have did a better job of getting out of his way?
You talking about when Trae sprained his ankle?
Yeah.
I mean, that's part of the game. It's part of the game. Come on, you can't make the. I mean, it's kind of hard to say because he has to. The ref have to be in a position to get every angle of the game. You know what I'm saying? When they get that grab, that hold, or that push in the back or whatever. So it was just a bad situation all around. He just, you know, he was in the wrong area, wrong place, wrong time.
I thought the referee could have backed up just a little bit. Being a basketball and football coach, they always got their arms out. I don't know if you can see them arms out. They backing up the players, they backing up the coaches. I thought he could have backed up just a little bit, but he was technically in the right. He was in position.
Correct.
I felt bad for the young man, and no pun intended for Mr. Young, and that definitely turned the tide a lot moving forward with that series. You know, a lot of people say, well, if you cheat on the play, that one play don't make a difference. But when you take that momentum from that one play and put it into the game, that's when you start looking at the difference.
Right.
Of course, that one play didn't make the series, but it did help to change the momentum moving forward for Atlanta, because they kind of was like, dang. You can just kind of see it like, dang, we can get all this, now what? But that's a part of the growing process.
Absolutely.
That's a part of the process saying, okay, well, we got to overcome something else.
Right.
And, this our boy, he didn't had our back. He been putting up 25, 28 a night. Who's the next man up?
Right.
And that's something that you got to learn from playing. You just got to be able to, basically suck it up and move on to the next thing. Right. And that's something that you learn, over time. I'm sorry, I'm moving my head back trying to keep up with my notes. So we want to get the Phoenix and the Clippers. Both big stars went down that game.
You're right.
Kawhi went down a little bit, and CP3 towards the end.
Right.
And you had some injuries also with Devin Booker, but Phoenix overcame that and beat them 4 games to 2. Why do they keep scapegoating Paul George? What's going on with Paul George? They got to keep scapegoating him. Is this something that is this deserve criticism? Is he bringing it on himself, or is it just the fact that when you got that big contract and you make the move from Oklahoma City, that put the target on your back? Or did he say something, calling himself Playoff P, and then he don't bring his team to where it's supposed to be? You think that got something to do with it too?
Paul George has to be Paul George. You have to tune the media out. You have to tune your critics out. Just go play ball, man. That's what you get paid for. Play ball. Everybody's not going to like your game. Everybody's not going to like the shoe you have. Everybody's not going to like the way you come to the game, whatever. Play ball. Same thing, like I say with LeBron. Be LeBron James. There's already been a Michael Jordan. Be LeBron James. Be Paul George. Now to take away what you said, your situation arised. Kawhi went down. Hope he, shouts out to him. I hope he, recovers. Good luck with his knee and everything. Spotlight was on you. You dimmed in the lights. Now you're not only. Paul George has to realize, see, what it is he's listening to the critics, the paper. They put Paul George a top 10 player. Paul George is a number 10 player. It's not a top 10 player. Because every time in the playoffs, when it's time for you to shine, you didn't do nothing. I told the guys at work, I say, okay, Thursday night, he put up 41. Friday night is a travel day, practice day. You thought he was going to turn around and do that again? That's not Paul George. Right. What did you get out of him? You got 21. So you got half of what he put up the previous night before. That's a 10 player. A top 10 player is Michael Jordan. He averaged 32 in the playoffs. Liable could sometime maybe go for more than that. That's a top 10 player. Paul George is a 10 player. Once Paul George realizes that and plays the role in the position that he needs to play, Paul George will be fine.
I'd agree with that. I think that by the fact that he opened his mouth and called and gave himself a nickname, I think that automatically puts that target on your back. When you say to everybody, hey, playoff P. Okay, playoff P, show me.
Right.
What are we over here now? Okay, Missouri, show me. We be the show me state. And has he done that? No. Not consistently, like you said. Right. One night, 40, next 120. You got to do it consistently. Stay somewhere in the middle and just kind of go 3 to 5, in between somewhere. But that's what you got to do. And he has yet to do that consistently. And I'm interested to see what's going to happen with him. I know he's going to be there, but Kawhi Leonard is rumbling again about what's going to happen with his future. Honestly, he may have gotten as much as he can out of his career at this point. I hate to say that, not because he's not, he's plateaued, but because of his injuries. Okay. When those injuries kick in like that, it's just a matter of time. He's had that same knee injury before. Correct. And he's been out, over time because of that. And it's kind of reminiscent of what happened at the end in San Antonio, where San Antonio was like, hey, we got a regimen for you. And he's like, nope, I don't want to do with your guys. And right. But I'm going to do it on my own. Okay. But I'm not. So we need you to still come to the game. Nowhere to be seen. The difference time he did it in the Clippers, he was up in the box. Then he was behind the bench. Then he was sitting in the front row. I'm like, your teammates still need your presence.
Correct.
We know you heard. We get that. But we are a team. We still in this fight. We still in the alley fighting against the bad guys trying to win this game.
Absolutely. And
he is all over the arena except for being with them. That's my only criticism. So, you gotta be with your team.
Right.
You got to. We know he's not that kind of leader. We get that. That's not something that's gonna change. We didn't talk about everybody. Everybody's talking about that blue in the face. He's not a vocal leader. He's a leader by example, which is fine.
Right.
Nothing wrong with that. But let your example still be there for your team when you can't go.
Right.
I'm not saying being in your sweats with your jersey under it, just in case. We know you can't go. That's not the issue. The issue is, I feel like when you do that, you tell your teammates, it's on y'all, dog.
Right.
Hey, I'll be there when we raise that trophy, though.
Right.
No, you can't do that. You got to be there 100%. And so they're talking about him possibly leaving and going somewhere else and flipping over to the Lakers. And I'm thinking to myself, do the Lakers really want to deal with that?
Yeah.
Are they going to get? I know with LeBron there, as long as LeBron there, LeBron will understand how to get the maximum out of him and still hold him accountable to being where he needed to be, which is what he had initially in San Antonio with Duncan and Parker and Ginobili.
Right.
Duncan, Parker, and Ginobili said, hey, come on, brother, come on, we over here, and that's what he had to do. So when they were in the retirement phase, he started branching out, and that's when that relationship started to crumble a little bit. So if he does come to LA, I can see LeBron being able to say, hey, come on, man, we in this together, we good. But if he stays with the Clippers or goes somewhere else, and he likes the low manners, we get that, and I can see why they low manage him, because with the money that with the amount of wear and tear on his knees, and he's had these injuries, he's going to have to basically. We want to thank Karen Williams and Roger Williams for joining us today. Thank you for joining us right now. We're putting a bow on the Eastern and Western Conference Finals and the NBA playoffs. We're talking about Kawhi Leonard and his ability to be a ghost, for lack of a better word, at times when his team needs him. Thank you for Dan Smith and TJ the King for coming in this morning. I like Kawhi a lot. I really do. I like the fact that I've always been the kind of guy. If I'm talking junk on the field or court, that means I'm losing. If I'm just out there playing and I'm doing my thing and we winning or we close, I'm good. But if I'm down 20, I'm gonna try to talk you out your game. Absolutely. So he kind of reminds me like that a little bit. He's not talking. He's just playing. Right. He up and down. He rebound. He setting picks. He's shooting. He missed a shot, but he's gonna go back on defense and he's gonna get you a stop. Right. That's the kind of player he is, and that's what makes him so valuable. And I really like that about him, which is a great thing.
I don't think he'll go sign with the Lakers for the simple fact he'll be an addition. So it'd be addition minus subtraction. See, with them, he's more his Kawhi team. Woo, woo, woo. If he go to LA, he gonna be there in LeBron's shadow. Then it would have been like, well, why you just didn't go to LA when you left Toronto? See, that's why I don't think he'll go to LA. Because it would have been like, that didn't make sense for you to stop in the Clippers when the Lakers was going to be the destination anyway. You should have just went there. Leave once you left Toronto, you should have went there.
I was hoping that he would go to the Lakers, but I wasn't surprised that he went to the Clippers, because he's always trying to prove that he's his own man.
Which is fine. It's a challenge. Right.
Which is fine, which is what you want to do as a grown man. Hey, I'm my own man. I can do this on my own. I can take these guys with me, which is cool. All right. Move forward. Once again, we want to thank our guests. We have, get back over there real quick. We got Karen Wilson, Roger Williams, Darren Smith, and TJ the King. Thank you so much for showing up this Saturday, July 10th, 2021. As always, make sure you get the book, Gratefulness Journey Every Day, written by who? This young man right here. Who's this man? Marcus Holmes. He's the man behind all of this right here today. I always want to make sure we thank him for everything. Click like, click share, call your friends, call your mom and them, call them at the barbershop. You know the barbershop crowded right now. Tell them to take it, put it on their phone, and put it on and zoom it to the TV, and so they can see what we're talking about, and make some comments on your phone. Hey, he tripping. They don't know what they're talking about. Hey, I like that idea. Give us some feedback. We want to know how you feeling, what you're thinking, what you're saying, and we will make sure we keep up with the comments. That much, I guarantee you, and that much, I promise you. We love you guys out there. Please keep coming back. This inspires us to keep going. And because Felix and I can talk about this all day. We can do this. We can literally do a 4-hour show and probably just get one little 1 minute water break to go, have a business to come back. But we can do this. But we want to know what you guys got to say. And guys and girls, we got Karen. Thank you, Karen. We do appreciate it. Ladies and the gentlemen, to come in and see what we're doing and make sure you got to hold us accountable for what we do. Make sure we keep a good show together. We try to do our best to make changes. Speaking of changes, as we move forward to next in 2 weeks, the Wilder Fury fight is in jeopardy. They saying the COVID got one or two of them, and they're not for sure who exactly. I don't remember. They may have said who, but they say it's a scare in the camp. For HIPAA, they really not supposed to say nobody's name, but they say it comes out anyway. And so you're looking at 2 weeks. Normally they say COVID is 10 days to 2 weeks. So 2 weeks from today, you're looking at the fight happening, and whether UFC, that's UFC, and no, that's actually a boxing match. I'm sorry, it's a boxing match. We'll talk about UFC in just a minute. I'm a conspiracy theorist, so I like to see how people can be talking about how Tyson Fury had illegal gloves, and you watch how he punched. He was punching with his hand open, and had those were legal. And so I'm like, no, he beat him. That boy came in there with that 500-pound suit on, trying to be the king, and had to find out the hard way, heavy as the head of Red Crown, what that exactly meant. sweated 5 pounds by the time you left the training room, the dressing room, to the actual ring, and that took him out. So you can't do that. Of course they got Gatorade and all that stuff on the side, but why you need to load up again if you already done it in the locker room? I know you want to stay warm, but that was a little bit BI. All right. Darren Smith says the Lakers really need to keep their starting lineup healthy. The whole league was pegged with injuries, but the Lakers suffered losing AD and Bron. That's correct. Bron with Father Time. AD, you got to look at how he's built. AD is a stick man basically, and his levels are a little bit different. You can't train like you train everybody else when you guys have guys with the type of length. If I can go in and do pull-ups and sit-ups, and my levers are what considered normal. You look at him, his levers are totally different. If you understand a little bit about physics, your lever is if you can pick up something heavier with something longer, with the longer lever. In his case, does he need to really pick up the extra weight and still get the same effect? I got a lot of people that are my actual degree is in physical education and exercise science, so I was able to study how levers work on the body and weights and the effects they have thereof. Trainers, they do that on an everyday basis. That's why you see people like Tom Brady fighting to have his own trainer. That's why you see a lot of athletes. They use the team want them to use their trainers. A lot of athletes are like, no, we love them, y'all paying them, but I got this guy, and that's what oftentimes a lot of the trouble comes in terms of a lot of back argument that we don't really get a chance to see is most of the times about little stuff like that. Only use my trainer, and how come my trainer can't travel with us and stuff like that. And as always, there's always a team argument about who might get to travel on the team playing, but that's another story for another day. I got off track, but we was talking about the fight. We want to see I want to see. Hopefully they can fight next week. I want to see them get up there, and I want to see Tyson Fury and what's the gentleman's name? Deontay Wilder get up there and see what they can do. And as always, we didn't touch about it before this part, but I was really proud to see Wilder's. I think it was his wife, even at his lowest point, she was right there by his side, cleaning him up, building him back up, and that's what you want to see. And I know people talk about in the African American community how women aren't there for their men like that, and And from just look at that situation, he was down. His head was down, and you can tell that he was going through it. She was right there. So shout out to that young lady. And so 2 weeks from now, he gonna have something on his mind. He gonna be there for his old lady because hey, my old lady was there for me. So hey, we gonna work a little harder for that. Mr. Porter, Mr. Roger Porter, thank you for coming out and joining the show. Mr. Porter, I want to hear from you. Give me some of your thoughts on how we're doing today. You guys, I don't know if you ever met Mr. Roger Porter. He's from Detroit. Great guy, and very honest, very transparent. Been a mentor to me, even though he's just a few years older than me. And I want to thank you for coming out. We're having a great show today. Right now, the topics we are talking about we are specifically talking about Wilder Fury, and right now, spend just a few minutes on it. Aaron Rodgers fiasco. He's not going anywhere. I've been saying that from day one. There was a drop dead date for players not playing, which was July 2nd, where he could protect his pay and get 75 to 80% of it, and not have anything held against them in terms of the league saying, you're in trouble, you're supposed to be here, this is your report date. He did not accept that. He decided to keep going forward without saying, I'm not playing on July 2nd. Okay. So that directly says to me, hey, I'm going to play. But the question is, where? He's still trying to put himself in a position to where he's going to play in the league. Is he going to go ahead and skip training camp and lose all that money? Probably. But when they come back, they normally pay him. They talk tough, and he's being fined so much dollars a day of his salary. We're going to move forward on without him. And they magically show up and start the next game. Right. I always thought that's funny. They're not going to hold him out because they're going to pay him. He's there. He's going to get his weekly check, which is 1/17 of what they are making for the season. And they normally go ahead back and pay him, and they all shake hands and smile and do the photo op like they did up in Seattle. When Russell jumped into the press conference with his coach, and his coach was looking at him like, "What you doing here? Oh, we're all good. We're happy. We're brothers." I just thought that was funny that Russell Wilson did that. Let it go, man. You tried it. They wasn't going for it, and just like what they did with Richard wound up having a lead, and so he's of course a cornerback. His career is normally it used to be that cornerbacks with careers were longer than quarterbacks, but now quarterbacks are staying longer, and Russell Wilson is going to continue to have I say about good 6 or 7 good seasons left in him is what my thought is, considering that you got Aaron Rodgers in the league for so many years now, and you have the man down in Tampa was at year 22 or something like that. if you can keep playing like that, why not? We want to say a happy belated birthday to Jan Holmes Boyd, Love and Stuff Day 1 member, and we want to make sure we recognize all the members that come out and say thank you to them. As always, click like, click share, get on the phone, let people know that we are doing this here. Make sure you get your book. Get in the camera. There we go. Gratefulness Journey Every Day by Mr. Marcus Holmes. That handsome young man right there. Look at that guy. Look at that guy. Woo, look at that smile. All right. All right, let's go back with the next topic. The next topic is UFC 246 tonight. Poirier McGregor. Ooh. Yeah. I've been looking forward to this one. This is the third of the trilogy. It's probably going to be the last one. Okay. I think Father Time has called to McGregor, which means he can't win. Which means that he may not necessarily not win. I'm not saying he won't win. But what I am saying is, it's kind of like his time. He's on the backside of that career, and he's gonna make his money on this fight. I was watching the press conference, and I saw something from him I've never seen before. He was serious. Normally, he comes to those press conferences talking junk, right? Right. And, trying to get under the skin of the other guy. but he was serious. He was talking junk, but he had a serious tone about him that I can just look at him and see, he really wanted. You can tell he wants to win this one.
Right.
That last fight, Poirier kicked them legs, chopped him down like a tree to the point where he didn't know that leg was coming or that punch was coming. And so I think Poirier is going to try and do a lot of the same because McGregor is not as fast as he used to. He's going to have to wait, and he's kind of relying on that one hitter quitter that he had so much more in his earlier career. And what's the name? Money Team man exposed his quickness in a lot of ways in that fight. And here he is. He's trying to box like this, where they teach him how to do in UFC. Instead of turning the gloves over, he's trying to swing like this. And so Money Team said, okay, I'm going to wait him out to the 7th, 8th round. And he went down. But that was a funny fight to me. That was just funny just to watch that. After all that press and how they was flying in the same jet to the same place together and then go to each other on the stage. And then they eat back in the jet together on the other side. That was, but that's the game. That's the fight game. That's how it go. And I'm excited to see tonight what's going to happen. What you think, sir? You got a prediction on that one?
Yeah, I agree with you. I think McGregor. I think the time to pass the torch.
Yeah.
Yep. He didn't get. He didn't father, like you said, Father Time didn't caught him. He a little bit slower. He ain't got the little pizzazz and the little posh like he used to. Yeah, it's time to pass the torch to this new kid. Let this new kid go and take the reins over.
Yeah, the lion is there. It looks like he got on his liquor, but it may not be where he is anymore. Yeah. All right, the biggest topic outside of the NBA Finals, Sha'Carri Richardson, Weedgate, injustice. Are they doing the girl wrong, or is it that's what it is? I got some huge opinions on this one. Let me sit up in my seat. I got some huge opinions on this one. Now we hear people talk about it from an Americanized thought process. We hear people think about it from our community like they always doing somebody wrong, like they always going after somebody and let her go. What's the big deal? The big deal is she knew what she was doing.
Correct.
I'm sorry that you lost your mom. I'm sorry you found out in the way that you did. But when you admit that you knew that you were taking a risk by hitting the blunt before you go and run, you're going to get what you're going to get. I know we in our community talking about we just trying to hold somebody back. No, that wasn't the case at all. It wasn't like somebody switched up her urine sample. She literally went to somebody, or she already had it, whether it was she put it on herself.
Right.
I've debated a lot of people about this. I say, you can't get a job at the Big Three without passing the test. You can't get a job at the casino without passing a urinalysis and a hair test. So, we know what it is. And to me, you hear people say, "Oh man, we just trying to hold her back. She out there, she's just trying to shine." This was self-inflicted. This was Harry Carey. And you really can't be mad at the IOC because of this. This is a worldwide committee of people who have made this rule. And people say, well, weed is not an enhancement drug. This is how it enhanced her. She was anxious. You hit that blunt, you ain't caring about nothing. That anxiousness is going away. Of course, that enhanced her ability to run and be a better track star. After she took a little toke. I don't know how much she got to it, but it was enough to be in her system. Right. She got on that line. She everybody, there's no secret she needs to do better coming out of the block. So she got in the block. You can tell that she was a little anxious coming out the block. She, her first 3-4 steps was high and choppy, which should be, low and coming through like they teach them in the 40. But And all they don't test everybody. That's something else they don't tell you. They're gonna grab. Of course, they're gonna take the top three, top four. But when you running and you pointing at at the at the camera and you seeing yourself running, you pointing at the time. Come here, little girl. Let's go weight you down. Let's go take this test. So I've talked a lot about it, about Felix. Am I sad to see her not run? Yeah, I am, because I was looking forward to her running against the girl from Jamaica. At the end of the day, it's the Olympics. Put it on the line. That's what it's all about. They was giving her comparisons to the FloJo with her style and the nails and the hair and the outfit. I got that. I got it. But you got to get there. You remember, what was it, about 12 years ago? They had those two guys for the decathlon. They was, somebody versus somebody. I forget their name. And one of them,
it was Dan and Steve.
You got to get there.
Yeah.
Tell me what you thought. I done ran my mouth about 4 minutes on this. What you think? Tell me what you think.
Okay, this is, to me, it's a touching subject because I lost my mom. My mom died in my hands. So we have to take ourselves out ourselves and put ourselves as Sherry Richardson. We don't know what this young lady was going through. You know what I'm saying? So for her to find relief in this herb, that's what she felt. We can't fault her for trying to cure the depression she's going through. She lost a mother. You see what I'm saying? Just like I lost my mother. Now, the difference between me and her is I didn't suppress the weed. But the very next day, after losing my mother, and I was in the EMS with her and everything. And the people came down and told me, she was no longer here. The very next day, I played a basketball game just to keep my mind going. So like I say, it's a touching subject, but I can also relate. But in previous shows, I always said this is a very, 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 very important word. The decisions. That's the decision she chose to make. I can't judge her because I can feel her pain. But she was living through the matriarch, which is her grandmother, that was her mother. So should she be punished? You already punished her 30 days. Let the girl go run. Because what's the difference between her and Mike Phelps? Mike Phelps smoked out a bong. What's the difference? Because she's a woman and he's a man? Because he's a Caucasian male and she's an African American woman? Let the girl run. What is she hurting? She smoked weed. Ooh, okay, don't do it no more. You still let Michael Phelps swim. Yeah, you did strip him of his medals, but let the girl run. That's just how I feel, because like I said, in order to understand someone, you have to sit in their shoes. I sat in her shoes, so I feel her pain. She can't argue with her mother no more, just like me. She can't go visit. She could go visit her mother at a grove. But the physical presence, how you know how she feels come Mother's Day, Christmas, Easter, Thanksgiving. That's a big thing to swallow. And in order for you to understand it, you have to sit into it. And these people are not taking that into account. They're just looking at the way how she's so arrogant. And she's supposed to be arrogant. She like, I'm the best out here until somebody defeats me. And I'm still the best out here. But to strip her of that chance, that's not right neither. That's just my take on it.
Yeah, I understand. My mom passed, it's going on a year and a half now. It was funny because I planned on taking a half a day that day. I don't know why, but it seemed like I took a half day. It was like a week in advance. I knew my mom was already sick. I'm leaving the building, I get a phone call, and I get the news. I made one trip on the way home. I made two trips. I went to the liquor store and a cigar shop. I'm not a cannabis person. I can't say I've never done it. I did that in college. It was, when you're a kid, you grew up all around it, and you go from being reefer to weed to hydro to all that other crazy stuff they got now. That's not something that's not really my thing, because I saw it so much. I saw it in the hood, so that's never really been my thing. So I understand, like you said, you had to get your mind off of playing basketball. I went and got me a cigar. I'm on my back porch with my bottle and my cigar. So I understand what her purpose was, the reason behind it. But it's the bigger picture here for her. Really quickly, Carmen Evans said she agreed with you, Felix Holmes, and the drug is not an enhancement. Uh, it's, uh, it's not an enhancement in terms of make her run faster. It just took away the fact that she was, it took away the part of the sadness and anxiousness to be able to run, and that's why that's the part of why the IOC does marijuana as part of it. They gave her 30-day suspension. It was USA track team who made the decision not to allow her to come and run in the relays. Is that going to hurt the relay team in the long run?
Yes.
I don't know.
Yes.
I would say yes.
Yes.
I would say yes. But why would they make that decision? Because I think they want to be consistent. I think it sends a message of we want to be consistent with the IOC because they banned Russia effectively from coming because what they would do in Russia with the people who take steroids and stuff like that, they would pretty much say screw the IOC, we send them anyway, and they know that they don't at some point, USA don't want to run afoul of the IOC, USA Olympics, because we still trying to host Olympics and everything. So of course I can see why they want to keep the consistency. Let's see, Carmen, you can't say I understand and say but because that take away from the previous comment. I understand what you're saying. People always say everything they say up until the but the but don't make no sense. So I understand what you're saying, Ms. Carmen. Let's see here. I know this was, we probably going to spend a little bit more time on this one than I had planned. And let's be real. Real blacks are not welcome. Yeah, I can see that point because you can go back and say back to 68 with the fists in the air and the other young lady who this year, who the hammer throw and how she didn't stand for the Olympics. Well, she stood for the national anthem, but she turned her back to the flag and put the shirt over her face. And they say that they're talking about the USA Olympics haven't said it, but the critics are saying they shouldn't send her because she turned her back on the national anthem. And the young lady, I can't think of her name, but she's a hammer thrower. She came in third, and she made her face up and did everything. Looks pretty cool. It's like war paint almost, and she's felt like they set her up. They only play the national anthem once a day, but they played it after her event. Normally, you either play the national anthem in the very beginning of the day. You go to most long events like that, they'll play the national anthem in the very beginning. Or they'll play it at the end when they're about to do the medal ceremony. Or they'll do a right moment like they did her. But her, you know anything about track and field is done early. Right. Shot put, discus, hammer, javelin, those are morning events. Right. So they could have did it at 6 a.m. when they normally start those things because you got all those events, everything going on the infield as well as on the actual track. But I felt like she felt. I support that young lady. You want to be active. You want to bring things. You want to bring a face to what her organization is. I get that 100%, and I feel like they did set her up. Okay, Ms. Thing to say. I feel we should not watch it in solidarity to show them I know it means something. That's a good idea. That's a real good idea. And I'm upset actually that they're not allowing people to show up. But I think I was going to talk about that a little bit later on. But we got to move on. We have not talked about yet the series as it is. Come on, dog. Let me give you another one of these. I haven't seen you. You want another one? Here. Bam, go. Sorry about that. I got a little 7-month a pit bull, and I'm trying to keep it quiet. I bought some bully sticks. I gave him 3 of them. This is the third one in less than an hour, and he ain't finished chewing up the other ones. So, but I got to keep him busy, to keep him quiet. So please forgive me. Let's see here. Phoenix over. Right now it's over uh, Milwaukee 2-0, and they are. It looks like they're totally controlled. Looks like they are totally in control, and I like the fact that Phoenix has exerted their willful muscle on Milwaukee. Every time it's hard for me to watch the whole game because I get really invested in it, and then I gotta say I gotta back off. So I change the channel. My wife say, "Why you keep doing that?" I say, "Because you want to hear me yell, and while you here trying to relax and sleep, if you're gonna yell, you yell any other time. It's football season." I'm like, "Well, that's in the middle of the day. These games are at night, and I know you be trying to sleep, but I don't need you mad at me." And
Yeah.
she just look at me, shake her head, and go back in the room. But uh, every time I see Phoenix on the offensive end, they are comfortable. Milwaukee hasn't done very much of anything to push them off their square
Right.
defensively. Phoenix defensively is they playing hard. They're overplaying the passes. They're handling the passing lane. They get the steals. They're disrupting the offense. And I think right now, can Milwaukee still come back? I definitely think so because they always say a series is not a series till somebody win on the other team's home floor. With Phoenix being in Milwaukee now, Phoenix has been playing the most consistently out of everybody right now in the playoffs.
Right.
But can Milwaukee win at home? Yeah, they got those crazy rabid fans up in Milwaukee. They show up in the stadium and outside,
Right. The Deer
just like
District.
Milwaukee did a few years. Not Milwaukee, just like Toronto did a few years ago when
Right.
they were outside, inside, and outside the entire time. And I like that. I like the support that we had, especially coming off of last year when everything was in the bubble and
Right.
everybody was a road warrior. And you
Yeah.
looking at, and to me, as much as I love the NBA and the playoffs and the finals, it drove me so crazy to watch it because it was like watching a cartoon or like watching NBA players playing in college gyms,
Right.
AAU gyms. Because basically what it was. If you go down to Disney in Florida, that's where they had AAU championships. They played the volleyball, the basketball championships in those gyms.
Right.
So there's a bunch of them on campus and right in that area. And that's what they do. And I really, let's see here. I really was glad to see that they're back in their gyms. Let's see. I'm having trouble with my audio. Looks like. Let's see here. What's going on with you? Can you say something, Felix? It looks like my audio giving me some
Can you
issues.
hear me?
Yeah, it's my audio.
Can
But
you
that
hear me?
sounds like you can definitely hear me, but I can't hear you.
Yeah, I can
It's,
hear you.
these internet bugs every week they give us issues. Why they keep doing that to us?
I have no
Why do you want
idea.
to treat me so bad? So we gonna try to fix this. Really, still keep the show moving. Go ahead,
Yeah.
and tell me your thoughts, sir, on how things are going. In your opinion for the playoffs right now, why try to handle on this here, sir?
I'm gonna
This
still keep.
audio.
I'm gonna still say Phoenix in 6, but I think Milwaukee gonna get tomorrow night and Wednesday just to make it a series because they, like you said, they're real good at home. You got the people outside in the Deer District, so yeah, I think they're gonna. I think they're gonna really. I think it's gonna go 6 because I think they want to see Chris. They want to see Chris get one. Chris didn't pay his dues. Giannis still got time. If it was me and I was the coach, I think it's Bud Shunter or whatever the coach name for Milwaukee, I wouldn't have played Giannis game one. I would have sat him down, let him gauge the game visually. Then I would have brought him Thursday night and let him play game two. Because 9 times out of 10, you're not going to get game one anyway. Game one is a fill out game. You're trying to see the opposition, what type of defenses they're running, offenses, whatever. I would have sat him, but I would have let him play. Because look at game two. He put up 42 and 21. So I would have let him, that's why I would have let him sat. Because who knows? I might would have been 1-1. So that's what I would have done if it was me. But I'm not a coach, I'm a factory worker. So there you go. Yeah. But that's what I would have did. I would have just, I mean, to me, basketball, a lot of these coaches have made some bad decisions, you know, as far as uh playing the minutes and stuff. It's basketball is a game of runs. That's all it is. You just gotta learn how to stop the run and initiate the run. And these coaches, they're just making terrible decisions. You got to know when to play this person, when not to play this person. You've been with this person for 70-something games. You should know their strengths and weaknesses. Basketball is a game of run and strength and weaknesses. That's all it is. It's not X's and O's. It's strength and weaknesses and making the right decisions. That's all it is. I think, and then I think also too that, you know, with this I don't know, like the way they schedule in the games. Like I think the final started Tuesday, then they were off Wednesday. Now it's Thursday. Now you're giving them 2 days. Now they're gonna play again Sunday, and then they play again Wednesday. LeBron did that. That's who did that. LeBron did that because it was all that traveling stuff with the, oh man, we ain't got time to rest and whatever. Man, this is what you do every day. You play basketball. Your body should be endured for this. You're not doing a 9 to 5 and then going to play basketball. This is what you do for a living. LeBron did that, man. When he played for Cleveland, and they had to keep flying back to Golden State and baby, it's too much. Man, this is what you do, man. With all that crying. Get out there. This is you make like Shaq said. This is what you do. You don't like it, quit. Guess you having some F shoes over there, sir. I don't know. You did good. Maybe it's the Spartan hat. Yeah, that's maybe what it is. Maybe it's the Spartan. Maybe it's the curse of George Perlis. Lorenzo White. Nah, don't do that, man. That's why we ain't got no sound now, because you're doing that. That's why it's messed up, man. Yeah, just look, Philadelphia. Just stay neutral. That's what you see. I'm Philadelphia, and I ain't even from Philadelphia. Just stay neutral. I don't know what it is. Or turn the hat backwards. Try that. But yeah, like I said, I love sports, man. I love it. I drink it. I sleep it. Everything. I can, like you said earlier in the broadcast, I can do this all day with you because it's what it's what people want. It's what people want to see in the bad times, in the good times when the world is going crazy. You got sports. You know, when we had the pandemic, or at least we couldn't wait to see the last dance because we were all cooped up. And that's what it is, sports. That's what drives us as men. That's what drives us as females. It drives them because they come in and bother us when we're trying to watch it. And then, they used to show the old Super Bowl commercial where the guy was getting ready to watch the Super Bowl and the wife comes in. It's like, oh, I just finished the dishes just in time. And they like, now getting ready for our afternoon movie, Heidi. And she started eating this popcorn. That's it. That's what they do to us. And they don't understand it. So I guess it's what they say. Men are from, what is it? Men are from Venus and women are from bars or however you go. But that's why they'll never understand it. It's like, that's why we came up with the man cave. It's like, this is our sanctuary. Please leave us alone for these 4 hours. But I guess they don't really understand it and they don't get it. So, if you sometimes just sit down with us and we can try to explain it to you. I mean, I can't be a professor and explain detail in the detail, but some of it you should be able to just catch on. Yeah, just take it off, man.
Can you hear me now?
That's what's wrong. Just take it off.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you. Just take it
Good,
off.
good. All right. All right. Perfect time as we go ahead and go down. As we go ahead and get to go to wrap up. The next show is July 24th. Let's see here. We're gonna probably the series is gonna be over. There's a good chance it's gonna be over. I wanted to talk about the marketing nightmare with it being small market and how they're trying to get over with the uniforms and how it drives me crazy with the comparisons. But we didn't get to that, but that's okay. We still had a great show. And next time we talk about the All-Star game. Mr. Joe Buck is back. Love him or hate him. The Olympics are coming. Limited to no guests going to be allowed. Football training camp. Ooh, training camp is coming. The Lions look pretty good so far on paper. I can't help it. I'm a diehard Lions fan.
4-12. 4-12.
I hope not. I'm gonna be so mad if they do.
4-12.
And
I'm calling it right now in July. 4-12.
4-12. I'm gonna say 10-6.
Oh, I'm sorry. They play 17 games this year, right?
Right.
4-13. I'm sorry, 4-13.
I'm gonna say 11-6. That's what I'm gonna say.
What team you talking about?
I'm talking about the Lions.
The Detroit Lions?
The Detroit Lions.
Hey man, look, take that cap, take that hat, take that shirt. Just take all that. And that's a window behind you, right? Roll it out of there and throw that Lion stuff out right behind. Wait, I'm gonna make sure I heard you.
Hold on. Says the man who just bought the new number 16 jersey.
That was a gift. That was a gift from somebody who don't know. They don't know too much neither. But you say 11 and what now?
11-6. That equals 17.
Man. Okay. I'm glad you still down there in that Michigan.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm not saying I'm mean about it, but I like it a whole lot when the Dallas Cowboys lose, because this region, the whole region, be sad for 3 days. It's not till Wednesday you see people start feeling better again. When they lose, they come to work. They sad.
I'm glad I'm not down there neither, because they've been hung me then. Because y'all ain't won that in 25 years.
I lost potential to get a job because I said I was proud enough to say I'm a Lions fan and not going to change my allegiances to be a Cowboys fan. I was going to be a car salesman, and I was going to the final parts of it, and I was talking to the lady. She says, "Well, you need to be a Cowboy fan." I said, "Man, I'm a Lions fan," and you could just kind of see the look on her face, like, I'm like, "Oh."
Go find somebody else is hiring.
Yeah, that's what she was doing. She was trying to tell me, just say it. And I was like, I don't understand, but I understand now. Yeah, the Hall of Fame game is July 20th, is August 5th. The Pittsburgh Steelers and the Dallas Cowboys, and you can see Dak Prescott on ABC. I don't know if that game's going to be back on ESPN or it's back on ABC. They normally play that game on Saturday night right after the Hall of Fame speeches and the Strong Hall of Fame class. Of course, they got a Lion in there, Calvin Johnson.
Yes, if you can get him back. If you can get him back, I go. If you get him back, I go 5-12.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I mean, it ain't too late. See if you can get him back. I go 5-12 then. But right now, 4-13. Absolutely.
4-13. All right. Well, they're coming down the home stretch. We want to thank everyone, especially Ms. Carmen. Thank you, Ms. Carmen, for holding us accountable. This is what we want. We want people like Ms. Carmen to come in and say, hey, you can't put that butt right there. You got to say it. And you got to stick with it. That's right, Ms. Carmen. I appreciate it. Get your book. Gratefulness Journey Every Day. Mr. Marcus Home, that young man right there. Thank you. Click like, click share. Tell people to come check us out. We'll be back 2 weeks. 2 weeks. We're gonna keep it going. We're gonna talk about some more fun stuff. Wrap up the NBA Finals. Phoenix is looking strong right now, I'm trying not to do prediction, but Phoenix, they've been the pros in there where they've been the most consistent. So if they would have gone and win it, I wouldn't be surprised. But I'm not counting Milwaukee out because the NBA needs some ratings and they're gonna let them make them win one. But that's another story for another day. Thank you all for coming out. It's time to move forward the rest of the day. Go clean up, turn on your music, open up the windows, open up the doors, get the fresh air in your house, clean up like you're supposed to do on a Saturday. Thank you again. We do appreciate you. See you in 2 weeks. Have a great day, everybody.
All right.